Hello, friends. Chris Corsi here, president of Thrive Today, and I want to welcome you to the Relational Skills in Real Life podcast. I'm glad you're here. We have a special guest today, Rebecca Glazier, and Rebecca is going to talk about how she learned to overcome anxiety. And friends, few things are as debilitating as anxiety, where we just get locked up. We feel like we're stuck in quicksand. And Rebecca's going to share a little bit of her journey and see if you can notice some of the relational skills that she learned to help her get her relational footing.
My name is Rebecca, and I wanted to share with you some of my journey of learning how to deal with anxiety in my life. I have struggled with anxiety for a long time, probably starting when I was a teenager. And it made me worry about all kinds of things, new situations, old situations, my future, my children's future, disappointing people I cared about, what I needed to do in any situation, fill in the blank. I noticed that it would make my stomach start to churn. So I felt nauseous. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't take a deep breath, and my shoulders would tighten up. And then I would start getting a headache because of the weariness of my brain just spinning and spinning, trying to find a solution to whatever the situation was that I was worrying about. One example of that would be maybe going out and having social interactions with people, conversations that I really enjoyed in the moment. But when I got home, I would start worrying about things that I had said and done. Like maybe they took something wrong that I said, maybe they were offended, maybe they won't like me. And then I would start replaying it over and over in my mind, trying to figure this out. So I come home, go to bed, I'm lying there with my stomach churning, not being able to breathe, and my brain just endlessly spinning, trying to figure out how I could fix it. And that was pretty miserable. It made it so that I really didn't want to go out and have interactions with people. Then I learned about quieting, skill 2. And so when I would start to feel like that, I would stop and take a breath. And as I would breathe, I could feel my shoulders loosening, just getting the oxygen in my lungs so I could breathe again, would stop the feeling of my stomach churning. And that really helped a lot. But my brain was still spinning. I was still trying to figure out how I could fix a situation. Then I got to skill 13, which is God sight. And so I started practicing that. And when I would come home from a social interaction, and started to feel this anxiety coming on, I would ask Emmanuel, how do you see me? And I would always get just a very calming, warm presence of Jesus with me, so that I was able to calm down. And then I could ask, is there anything that I need to do or say to clarify or repair, maybe from a conversation with someone that I had just had? And I would get clear thoughts about, the next place to go with that relationship or anything that I needed to say. But it was all from a really relational standpoint, and enjoy, instead of being fear or anxiety based. And so then instead of going to bed full of anxiety, with a headache, I was able to just relax and be at peace and look forward to the next day and the next interaction with that person. This has been such a gift, and has helped me stay joyfully in the present in ways that I was never able to be before.
All right, friends, wasn't that something? Rebecca shared this powerful testimony about how the relational skills helped her get her relational footing, how the quieting practice and the quieting skill really helped her to be able to take that pause, to catch her breath, to quiet her mind and quiet her body. And as well as what we call God sight, seeing some of what God sees. So when she would worry about an interaction or worry about something, she turned to God and she asked the Lord to show her some of what he sees when he looked at these things. And what that did is that anchored her, in the storm of these feelings so that she could stay steady, she could stay upright, and she could stay relational. One of the beautiful things about Rebecca's testimony is that she could stay joyfully present in new ways. And friends, that's really what relational skills are all about, helping us to stay relationally, joyfully present in new ways. And if you enjoyed learning about some of this, and especially with anxiety and learning how to navigate anxiety, we have an after event anxiety course. We put together some material after an event that we did on anxiety. And friends, this is good stuff so that you can be like Rebecca and grow some joy, grow some capacity, learn to quiet, and see some of what God sees.